child is born, the story of a new life begins. Her parents have only one wish, that she should be healthy, so they do the best they can for her. All over the world, it's the same story. A mother breastfeeds her baby and so protects her and fills her with love.
Pregnancy and the first 2 years of life are critical moments for the survival and long-term health of children. Exclusive breastfeeding is one of the key contributors for children's survival and health throughout the world.
But no matter how natural breastfeeding is, it's also vulnerable. For over half a century, it's even been under threat.
For many decades, the baby food industry has been doing damage and displacing breastfeeding by using the techniques, calling it the foods as safe and modern, and this bottle feeding culture has been brought by the industry by using aggressive promotion through advertising, to TV, to direct promotions like that.
As a result, many mothers believe that they're giving the best to their baby by abandoning breastfeeding in favor of these products.
It is indeed incredible that we have switched from the ancestral culture of breastfeeding to the culture of bottle feeding.
Powdered infant formula made up in unhygienic conditions means diarrhea, dehydration, and ultimately death for hundreds of thousands of babies. But the multinational producers stick to their policies, even in the face of widespread condemnation.
It was not possible to let this happen. We got mobilized, and together we managed to impose the code.
In 1981, the International Code of Marketing of Breast Milk Substitutes was adopted under the aegis of WHO and UNICEF. Its aim is to regulate the marketing practices of the multinationals concerned.
We very quickly understood that we needed to create an international network to denounce violations and push companies to comply with the code.
Today, the International Baby Food Action Network, IBFAN, has over 250 members around the world.
When the code was adopted by over 100 governments, we thought that they would finish the job, that they would take action at the national level. But it was not to be. Very few took action, and the NGOs had to keep on prodding and also monitoring what the industry was doing, what were the companies doing.
And these are the latest violations of the code that we published. The companies continue violating the code, and therefore we have to rest vigilant in order to protect breastfeeding.
Even so, more than 1 million babies still die every year because they're not breastfed.
Welcome your baby by putting him to your breast within the first 30 minutes after birth. Give him colostrum, the first yellowish milk, to protect him against infections. Until the age of 6 months, your baby does not need anything else but breast milk, not even water or tea. Your milk covers all his nutritional needs, including water and vitamins. You'll see your baby growing well, and you will be very happy.
Breastfeeding concerns mothers everywhere. Breast milk protects against disease, including non-communicable diseases, especially obesity. Mothers need support.
Working mothers need support to be able to breastfeed. Our work also consists in helping mothers.
For a mother to be able to breastfeed successfully, she needs the support of her family and community, as well as a legal framework which facilitates breastfeeding for working mothers.
IBFAN works to protect, promote and support breastfeeding. This work takes place at all levels, including where policy decisions are taken. Here, every year, governments decide on future global health policies. A key opportunity for lobbying is the coffee break. But IBFAN is in direct competition with industry representatives.
This is the moment when we can exchange ideas. Try to convince people to adopt our point of view, not that of the industry. Yeah, wonderful. Excellent.
We are just putting on a label called public interest. And this way we distinguish ourselves from NGOs who defend industry interest. It is a sign that is only given to NGOs like IBFAN who defend public interest in global health.
Excellent. There we go.
You are certified now.
Today, the regulation of the marketing of infant formula and other breast milk substitutes is as important, if not more important, than it was when the code was adopted.
The IBFAN organization celebrated its 30th anniversary last year, an opportunity to take stock and to see the huge and extraordinary work of this organization. But it is also a moment to ask this association to continue its tireless action for breastfeeding and make sure that this practice becomes universal.
In the 80s, we could see an improvement of breastfeeding rates globally. But since then, we've seen an alarming trend to have actually less children who are exclusively breastfed. And we need global mobilization from governments and civil society to make this happen, and WHO is committed to support this.
Breastfeeding is not only the best way to feed a child, it also represents an act of tenderness and love.
Hasta luego, adiós. Goodbye.
Join us today.